Good morning, traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, Monday, the 26th of October. All right, we'll just get straight into it this morning, and we'll kick off with our Aussie US dollar. Let's have a look at what this chart is showing us. From the previous markings that I've left here, let me just zoom in a little bit. I can see that I was looking for a bounce in this region. The market did come down to look right on, and then it has kicked, but it didn't actually give me a confirmation pattern for me to be able to take a trade on that. So again, as I said, I don't like to just trade off the levels because it wasn't really a level until we got this kick, because we only had the 1 point. Not to worry, we didn't get an opportunity there. I will get rid of this. Let me just extend this line out a little bit, because I feel that this is also the 70 level, and it can be a point where it is quite critical. And let me just extend this, and when I look at this is now starting to look more and more like that bouncy ball type pattern that I always talk about, where the ball's bounced on the table, bounces up lower, again lower, and then eventually what it does is this. Okay, so we're not quite well, we don't know. It feels like definitely there'll be one more bounce if that plays out. So what I'm going to look for this time is, I'm particularly interested to see if I can get any price action reversal occurring in this zone, because then that would be a good opportunity with a high probability to trade down. Now, sometimes if I was to jump on one of these and it starts to approach this level here, sometimes when the pattern is already established like this in terms of the bouncy ball one, you can try and hang in there to try and capitalize and get a bit more out of this trade. Okay, but look, we're not there yet. The first step is, let's see if we can get the reversal occurring in this region here. So I'm just going to put a mark there to remind me. If I see that throughout the week, I will definitely call it out. Okay, that's the Aussie US dollar this morning. Euro USD, all right, I can see that I was looking for the market to come down here, but it never happened, so that's okay. So let's just get rid of that marker right now. Oops, that's not the one that I want. There we go. And I'm particularly interested now in two zones. I want to see what happens up here. That would be, if we do get a reversal there, it's a trade that looking similar to a double top, not quite a double top because really there was one there and one there, but still a point of interest. All right, if I do get reversal occurring up the top there, I would be interested in selling. And likewise, if I get it down the bottom, I will look for the confirmation and try to become a buyer. All right, so now the top line, this one here is confirmed, the bottom one is still not confirmed. So there's a question mark on this one, and the reason, we only have one touch. All right, we need at least two touches on a line to confirm a line, and over here I've got it. All right, so this one here is got a higher probability. We are approaching that region there. If I should get the reversal, well, then this is the trade that I definitely have an interest in. All right, so there you have it. That's my Euro USD this morning. Let's move it along. The US yen. Okay, this one's pretty clear what I'm trying to see, what I'm trying to do. It looks very similar to that Euro USD, but we're on the opposite side. Let's look there. Oh, there is a reversal pattern here. Those two candles was a reversal pattern. The only thing, give me 1 second, let me see if I can just readjust that line and if it looks a bit better. I was trying to grab it. Okay, if I redraw it like this, I like it a lot. Oh, this particular one here, it did break just slightly there, so in theory we should have been in. Look, I believe with this one, let me just get rid of this, it's throwing me off. if we were to enter the market right now, the proper entry should have been here, okay, and it's in this direction. All right. The reason is there's a support line, and we've produced a reversal pattern across this candle, the red one and the blue one. The following candle broke the high just ever so slightly, which meant you would have been put into the trade at that level there. Your stop is around about here. So had you seen that on, I believe this would have been Thursday morning, you would be in the trade right now, and you would be down on that trade a little bit. Okay, so normally if the market had already pushed a lot towards our target and then come back, I would not consider taking that trade. But we're over here. Look, it's for me. Look, let's just do it. I'm happy to enter at this point right now. My stop will still remain the same. So my stop distance, maybe take a smaller trade than what you would normally take in terms of your risk. That's up to yourself. I normally have a set of rules that talks about this specific case on how I act and what I do, and your trading plan should have similar rules, not similar to mine, but you should have rules that discusses these types of circumstances. If you're having issues with that and you want to sort of bounce some ideas, feel free to drop me a line. I'm more than happy to share so that you can have a look. But right now that would be an entry there, your stop distance would be there, and basically we're looking at that. So we are buyers. We're already triggered on the US yen, and the reason again, support line, we've got the reversal, price action reversal already occurred for us. The trade has not pushed towards the profit area yet, and it hasn't been stopped out, so it's worth the probability. Okay, so there you have it. I'm a buyer on the US yen this morning. All right, let's have a look at the GBPUSD. Okay, GBPUSD. What have we got? I've got this line that I've got marked out here. I've just got it there just to sort of highlight an area where possibly the market may turn around, but it's not really a locked in line. I'm only drawing it in on 1 point, so this line really doesn't mean much other than it's just helping me think what may happen next. I also note that if I look at the top there, I'm in a region where there's really nothing happening. I need this particular currency pair to move a little bit away from where we are right now and start to take some direction before I can actually see the next possible setup. So for this week, the GBPUSD, there's nothing on the horizon right now as it stands. Okay, I've got this mark here. I'll leave it in. Oops, I just moved my line accidentally. That's not what I wanted to do. This line here, I've just got it here tentatively, thinking that when the market, if the market comes down to that level, let me see what happens, and I'll be able to make a decision. Okay, so for right now, GBP USD, nothing on the horizon. USCAD. Okay, USCAD has been trading in a narrower band, so basically the lows have been getting higher and the highs have been getting lower. So in other words, we're producing a converging triangle. We have, let me zoom in so we can see it a bit better. In this whole region over here, well, there was a reversal pattern there. That's already happened. We missed that one. And in this whole region here, oh, hang on. There could be a reversal, but you got to wait for confirmation over here. You can see that at the moment as it stands, the little blue candle, but that's this morning's candle, so you've got to wait 24 hours. At the moment as it stands, it's an inside candle. If it was to remain as such, then tomorrow morning at the break of that inside candle, we could take a trade up in this direction. But we do need to wait for that candle to complete, and let's see if it still remains as an inside candle tomorrow. Otherwise, it would not be a setup. All right. If that doesn't play out, which I get the feeling it will not, then the next opportunity is we've got to look for something on the other side and try and trade it back down like this. All right. So there you have it. That's the USCAD. That's what we're going to try and do. Let's move along, have a look at the Euro Yen. I flagged this one last week on the Euro Yen, and I said, look, it's a little bit on towards a little bit of the aggressive side, because the second touch, this first touch was there, but the second touch was still a big question mark on it. It only becomes a solid second touch if the market in fact does bounce across. But we did have the reversal pattern. Go back and have a listen to last week's class, and I said, look, what the hell, let's do it. The probability is there enough. And for those of you who did take it, you got a winning trade out of it. So the break was there, the stop was there, so you can see this was your stop distance, and definitely this trade got way bigger than that distance there, so it was a winning trade. As it stands right now, we're starting to get in towards this really pointy end. So right now, I don't really want to do anything. This is more an opportunity now for the breakout traders, and what you'll be looking for is big breaking candles outside of the triangle as such, to try and basically get trades in this direction. All right, now I don't really do any breakout trading, but for those of you who do, this one is setting up as such. Kiwi US dollar. We marked out this zone last week, and the market has still stayed within it. So what I want to see is I want the market to come down to this level here, or go up to this level there, and then from those two extremities I will be looking for price action reversal and opportunities to trade and back inside. Currently where we are in the middle, I have no interest in this, so I do need to wait for the market to move a little bit, either up or down, and then I'll look for those opportunities. Both of these lines are definitely locked in, because I've got one touch, two touches over here, and on the top line I've got one and two touches there. So this two lines that I've marked out on my chart are definitely locked in, and let's see if they can provide us with an opportunity to trade back in towards that channel. All right, let's move along and have a look at the Aussie 200. Okay, so the Aussie 200's been trading in this narrow band. We sort of got above it there. I thought it was actually going to kick on. It hasn't. It's just still hovering around there. So what I can do now is, let me get rid of these lines, and let's zoom in, and oops, that's too much. Okay, I'll just leave it as such. But what we can look for with this one now is perhaps it may start to get into a trend. All right, so if that's the case, we will be looking for opportunities on every time the market dips back down. Look for price action to occur inside that dip, and then shoot off new trades in this direction. All right, at the moment, these two candles here, it did dip a little bit, but that's not a reversal pattern, so just keep an eye on it. If we do get anything on a dip, then that's where the opportunity will present itself for a continuation of what looks to be an emerging trend upwards. Okay, all right, last one for the week is gold. Okay, so the top line here on this chart wasn't it wasn't great. Okay, we didn't really catch that point. We got that one there, that one there. In any case, we can see that it's just converged into a nothing. The lines now are obsolete. It just looks all ugly, so let's just get rid of it. If anything, right now it looks to me like this may trade inside this region here for a little bit, but at the moment, even that zone that I've just marked is not locked in. This is a chart that I actually don't like at all. What I'm going to do with gold is I'm just going to wait a little bit, let it move away from that center, and we'll play it from there. And once we do move away from that center, let's see how far to either extremity, because what could be happening, we could be getting into a trend like this, or we could get to a level that we hit a resistance and we bounce back off. So I need more candles to form move away from the current price range before we can make a decision. So for now, we just leave it alone. No action taken there. All right, so there you have it. That is the analysis. Let me bring up what's happening in terms of data. Just give me one moment. Let me get me this up. Okay, a little bit more activity this week relative to last week. This is the calendar for this week. The times are all in my local time, which is Australian Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time. Just a couple of highlights. We have a Bank of Canada on Thursday there, 1 o'clock in the morning, giving out their monetary policy statement. So the interest rates and monetary policy for the currency tend to be big movers, or they can be volatile. We also have the same thing happening in Europe on Thursday, 11:45 p.m. our time, where the financing rate will be issued and the monetary policy statement comes out as well. Locally, we have on Wednesday our CPI numbers are due out over here, and that's I can see here Japan's monetary policy statement also comes out on Thursday. They're not scheduled, they're tentative at any time throughout that day, so look out for that. So those are the highlights for this week. A little bit more action. Let's see if we can get a bit more movements on the currency markets. We are getting closer to that election as well. As we get closer to the election, we will start to see a bit of fear, volatility, and a whole bunch of movement which will start to affect the US dollar. Of course, if it affects the US dollar, it affects pretty much most of the market. So let's see how that one plays out. If you don't want to get caught up in anything too volatile, then just obviously make sure that you're aware of the dates, and you step aside and just look from the side until you get more confidence and more experience. All right, guys, that pretty much wraps up for this week. As always, please feel free to contact us if you do have any questions. You can follow me on Twitter at ChatFX for trade setups and breaking news. Most importantly, hope you all have a fantastic trading day. I'll speak to you tomorrow for the daily call. Bye for now.